Hello again, this is Alex with MasterChartsTrading.com, and this is market recap for Friday, July 9th, 2021. As always, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with others. I'm hoping to have a relatively brief presentation because I keep talking a lot, so let's get as fast as possible. So we're going to look at stocks, S&P, NASDAQ, making new records. Dow Jones is slightly behind. We'll look at small caps as they were bought even at weak support, and I'll explain what weak support means. I'll give an example. I didn't personally trade this stock, but it's just a wonderful example. It's called Resolute Forest Products, how to trade breakouts. Also, we'll revisit GameStop, how to avoid the hype, look at the chart objectively, and just how to trade it. And this looks like it's about to go down. We'll look at dollar as it touches the bullish levels. Gold is bouncing within the bigger downtrend, so we'll look at where at what point to sell short gold. And Bitcoin, and especially DogeCoin, is on the verge of collapse. So we'll see if I'm correct. If I'm correct, we could see a huge move down for DogeCoin. Also wanted to mention that the indicators for MetaTrader are not now available, and you can actually use them if you have MetaTrader. So there it is, my indicators on MetaTrader. Already people are using them, so just glad to hear it. And yeah, if you have a MetaTrader account, you can use them. We are working on an expert advisor as well. And I have another 2 paid newsletters. So I have Elite newsletter where we trade mostly ETFs and large cap stocks, and the speculator newsletter, and you can see there's a huge amount of stocks there that we're looking at because a recent sell-off kind of gave us a bunch of good opportunities. So these are paid newsletters, and we'll cover them if you have a subscription. Okay, so let's get right to it. So S&P 500 yesterday, so I'm gonna zoom in on July 8th. I thought, oh my god, we're gonna collapse, and then today we made a new record. So, you know, I'm talking to some of my friends who are traders, and they've been trading since, early 80s, and they're saying they never seen anything like this. So this move is one of the very, very, very strong moves. We started trading it when the breakout occurred, where I'm hovering right there on April 29th, 2020. So why did I say it was a breakout? You can clearly visualize it in this chart using my trading indicators. They're called. You can look in the description of the video and find me there. So breakout occurred here in April of last year. This is where we buy. We buy on close above the blue line. We don't buy when the stock is already way above the blue line, and we don't want to be doing it. We want to be buying on a pullback towards this support resistance blue line. So it is also acting as a trailing stop. So when we buy on breakout, we trail at the blue line itself, at the support resistance blue line itself. So if we open it back in April of last year, we're still long. We have not closed that position, and we just keep going higher and higher. So, but people keep asking me, but I want to buy S&P 500. How can I buy it? And I say you can't right now because the risk is enormous. You don't want to be buying here. You want to be doing nothing. You want to be holding here. So what you can do is you can look for stocks which are breaking out. Now I'll give you a couple of examples in just a few minutes. Here's Dow Jones. Dow Jones Industrial Average made the new record on May 10th here, and we're again approaching new records. So very similar to S&P. There's the breakout in May of 2020. Again, at that point, we would be buying it, and we would be holding it and trailing it higher at the blue support resistance line. NASDAQ, same general principle. The breakout occurred in April of 2020. And again, we will be just holding it now. We're trailing at the blue support resistance. New records were just set here on the 7th of July 2021. We're very close to new records. Again, this is a very, very strong bullish chart. How much higher will it go? Nobody knows. Will it collapse at a certain point? I'm sure it will. Again, we don't know at which point and when it will collapse or when it will pull back. So I wouldn't worry about it. At this point, what we're doing is we're simply holding our positions. So our position was opened back in April of last year. Small caps, same general principle. Breakout occurred here in May of last year. Arrows mark good opportunities to enter. The latest excellent opportunity was right there on 24th of September of last year. How do I know? Very simple. The stock pulled back towards the blue support resistance line and closed above it. This is all I needed to know. I have no idea about any technical picture. I have no idea about anything else. I only look at the chart. So what I wanted to show right now is that you can again clearly visualize it. There it is. So stock, in this case small caps, pulled back towards this green support resistance line. The green line is a weak support. I don't really use it that much except for take profits. So if you were, let's say, you bought it, let me see, back in April of last year, then a good place to take profits was when the stock closes above the green line and then closes below it. So it's a good place to take profits. It doesn't mean you have to take profits there. And then another time, for example, right there on 24th of May of this year, so that's a great place to take profits. Some people never take profits and they just sit in the position, wait until the stock comes down towards the blue support resistance line. And you can see it would have been quite profitable if you, for example, bought it way back when in September of 2019, then you would have exited right there, 25th of February, save yourself an enormous headache during the pandemic collapse. You see how easy it is to see where the exit is? There's the exit alert. This was actual alert, 25th of February 2020. Without knowing anything, without knowing any kind of insider trading information. Please understand that I don't use any insider trading. So what we have right now is weak support was touched. And even the weak support was bought immediately. Look at this gap. So today we gapped up from the yesterday. So this is showing very strong bullish stock market. Basically we're moving towards new records. We're becoming quote unquote more and more overbought. Again, that means nothing because we could become overbought and continue being overbought for a very long time, and then eventually sometime in the future, nobody knows when, we will see a pullback. And how would we know when that pullback will happen? We don't. We just look at the lines and act accordingly. When or if that pullback will happen, we will get something like this, like what happened in February of last year, and then we will exit. And that's it. And we will sit tight. You see what I'm saying? You see how easy it is? You don't have to think. You remove your brain. Okay, so now I want to give an example of this stock. I've never heard about it. It's a relatively small cap, so let me see what the volume. It's about 1 million shares traded, so it's not a very large cap. What I really liked about it is just the clarity of it. You see, this is what I call a breakout type of trade. So back in 2020, you can see it was hitting new lows. There's a new low in April of 2020. If we look back, conceivably we can say that it was in a bull market back in 2018. It was going up, and then something happened. I don't know what happened, but we saw a collapse. There's the entry into a bear market where I'm hovering in December 2018, and at that point we just do nothing with it. We don't touch it. Some people like to sell it short, and I can explain it if you're interested, so you can contact me, and then we can go over that. But for our purposes, we're looking for a when I talk about breakout stocks, I talk about stocks that were, deeply oversold, deeply out of favor. It went from whatever, $12 to $1. So you see how terribly it collapsed. Nobody really wanted it. However, I don't really care. I just look at the lines, and something happened on this date, right there, 17th of August 2020. I don't know what happened. I don't care what happened. I only care about the technical picture. It closed above my support resistance line, and then I became extremely interested. I just want to buy it right there. Okay. And let's say we bought it right there at about $3.79, $3.80. So what happened afterwards? We can see that it immediately went in our favor. And remember that we're trailing at the blue line, at the blue support resistance. So we have not been hit, our stop has not been hit on this pullback in September or on this pullback in October. It just keeps going. Kept going. Do you see how much it went? Again, here our stop was not hit in March of 2021, and it went even further. This is what I call sitting tight. We're trailing at the blue support resistance line. We're not trailing at the green line, because you will get stopped out 1,000 times. You need to be trailing far enough from the price action so that you don't get stopped out. You see how far it went? Finally, right there, in June of this year, this was where we would have been exiting. Okay, so yes, you missed a little bit of a pullback. However, you got vast majority of the move. You got 200-some%. It went as high as, over 300%, but as you can't really get the entire move. So still, 200% move is enormous. And if you're trading options, this is times 3 at minimum. So it's a 600% move right there. So this is how we trade breakout stocks. The breakout occurred back here in August of last year, and this is the type of breakouts that we look for in the speculator newsletter. So all of these stocks that I'm pointing out, they're breakout stocks, and we're looking for similar patterns to what I'm just showing you with this Resolute Forest products. So this is the type of thing that we look for, and the type of trades that we do for the speculator newsletter. And here's the world famous GameStop corporation. So again, we don't really trade it. We haven't really traded, but it is a breakout stock. So it was a similar pattern. Stock was deeply oversold. Finally, there was the breakout where I'm hovering on the 28th of August. You had multiple opportunities to re-enter should you so desire. It went as high as some obscene number of 2,434%. Now, again, if I was trading it, I would have been out right there on 28th of January. Why? Because it has closed below my support resistance blue line. Additionally, this candle was just ridiculous. So I would have been out for sure. If not here, then for sure here on 1st of February. And then here where I'm hovering on 4th of February, so this is actually a bearish entry into a bear market where I'm hovering, 4th of February of this year. So at this point, I'm looking for an opposite. I'm looking for stock to pull towards the red support resistance line, and we can sell it short. But where is our stop then? Our stop would be above this blue support resistance. Okay, so would have been something like this. For example, 25th of February, this would have been an opportunity to sell it short. Now, our stop is on close above the blue support resistance line. So you can see it was not yet hit, even though we had this big spike on the 10th of March. Another opportunity to sell short right there, 24th of March. Again, with a stop above the blue support resistance. Another opportunity to sell. So again, these two spikes here on the 8th of January, 8th and 9th of June, we would not have been stopped out because there was not yet a close above the blue support resistance. You can see that it came very close, but it didn't happen. So what is happening right now? Right now, we're again approaching this place to sell short. Now, I generally speaking don't like to sell short equity, stocks, during a normal general bull market. And how do I know we have a bull market? Very simple. S&P 500 has closed above the blue support resistance line and hasn't yet closed below the yellow support resistance line. Okay, so we're definitely in a bull market. So generally speaking, I don't like to sell short equity, but should you so desire, we're getting there for this GameStop. And it's really juicy. It could be a really nice move. I'm, thinking we can easily drop 50% if we close below the red support resistance line here. So let's watch what happens. Avoid the hype. Avoid listening to whatever Redditors. Just look at the chart. Okay. You don't need any of those Redditors, you don't need those opinions of people on TV, okay? You only need things that are right in front of you, okay? My lines, they will help you. But even without my lines, you can do it without my lines. But my lines are super useful because you can visualize price action. So this is just something for you to keep in mind. Avoid the hype, avoid listening to the news, think for yourself, please. Okay, so dollar index, here's DXY, and so we're using my lines here, and dollar has been in a downtrend until very recently. Made a new low on January 6th, the date of the insurrection. The breakdown for dollar occurred there on 3rd of June. You had an opportunity to sell it short on 30th of June with a huge gain. But something again started to happen after the insurrection, which was a shameful event, and hopefully people who are responsible will continue to be prosecuted. We have overcome weak resistance at the yellow line on 16th of June. We have also overcome strong support resistance line on 18th of June. What's happening now is we're like inches away from bullish levels. This is bull market for the US dollar, just above this blue support resistance line. In fact, we can turn on the future a little bit. I can project my lines into the future with a 6.0 version, and you can see we touched it. We touched this line, bounced off of it. So let's see if we can close above it finally. If we close above it, there are going to be many repercussions. So what does this mean? This means that the dollar will be gaining now. Okay, so it will be gaining against euro, against the British pound. It's already gaining against Japanese yen and Swiss franc. For our purposes, since we trade gold, we need to look at gold and we need to see where this is going. Dollar is getting bigger. Okay, this is a currency pair, XAU divided by US dollar. If the bottom part of this currency pair is getting stronger, getting bigger, it will pull this currency pair lower. This is what's happening. Okay, we see an entry of the entry of the gold into a bear market on 8th of March of this year. We had a big counter trend rally, but now we had another signal right there on 16th of June. So what's happening right now, we see a counter trend rally that is approaching excellent point to be sold short. So I'm hoping for another touch of this red support resistance line, which is currently at 1826. At that point, I'm thinking about selling it short. It's actually even there right now. I would be okay opening a short position with a stop above the blue support resistance line. Notice where it's at. Okay, if you need these lines, look in the description of this video and then find where you can get these lines for TradingView, and they're also now available for MetaTrader. So gold is bearish. That means the inflation that people keep talking about, people keep freaking out, is not really caused by anything fundamental. It's caused by a disbalance between economy quickly restarting after the introduction of the vaccines, and people were just like, oh my God, now we need to go out, we need to spend money, you see. So people were demanding products. So it's not like the inflation is caused by, I don't know, fundamental rise in prices. It's more because of the disbalance between the things coming in, things going out of the economy. Things, you see, you know, like gasoline, food, travel, leisure, things of that nature, you see. So I'm not really worried about inflation. I would be worried about the inflation if gold was in fact going higher, but it's not, you see. The dollar is gaining in strength. If the inflation was getting out of hand, then the dollar would be collapsing, but it's not. So again, don't get caught by this hype, okay? Look at the chart. Be objective, please. Otherwise, you'll be just lost. Okay, think for yourself. This is important. And here's Bitcoin. This is the biggest one. People, I mean, I get into a lot of flack for this. So up to very recently, I had no problem buying it. In fact, these are actual alerts. 23rd of January, 27th of January, we were buying it at 3,000. It went as high as 64. So yeah, that's a nice gain. We were also buying it at 7,000 back in May of last year and April of last year, actual alerts. Yeah, so it went, that particular one went as far as 30,000. If you held on here, it went as far as 60s, whatever, thousand. So that's a 600% gain. But now you see something happened, and we're now not yet 100% bearish, but we're super close. You see, even today we again touched this red support resistance bearish levels. And what I'm waiting for a close below it. That would be a signal for me to sell it short. Now, it is difficult to sell short Bitcoin unless you have futures or a margin account. In the United States, it's really difficult to have that. However, if I for some reason had Bitcoin holdings, I would be strongly considering unloading them. Because if we see a close below this red support resistance line, easily we can see another 30% drop, but most likely it will continue lower. And here I'm going to bring up fundamentals. So fundamentals are, we're constantly hearing about ransomware attacks. The latest one was just recently happened. And what do they demand? They demand 70,000 in Bitcoin, right? So that's basically a signal for governments around the world to say, you know what, forget about it. We're just gonna crack down. We're just not gonna let this currency exist. You know, if I was a central bank and people were saying like, well, this ransom people wanted in Bitcoin, so let's just block the whole thing, okay? So also we're hearing that, you know, to mine this thing, you need huge amounts of electricity. And it's contributing to global warming because you have to, you know, create electricity somehow. And I'm hearing that, you know, they're using water to cool the servers or whatever, the mining rigs. So it's a no-brainer. It's going to just be either outlawed or it's going to be cracked down really badly. It's already been cracked down by Chinese regulators, United States regulators, European regulators. So it will eventually be just, I don't know, suppressed, I guess is the word. And it's not in really any kind of circulation. Nobody takes Bitcoin. Like, I can't go to McDonald's and pay with Bitcoin. It's used mostly for criminal purposes. So what's the point? I don't see it. All right, so this is my fundamental take. I think you know, since I don't really care about fundamentals that much, but I get kind of passionate about environmental regulations and environmental impact, and this thing is horrible for environment. So if it closes below 32,596 currently, where I'm hovering, I'm just reading it off the chart. This is the red line, red support resistance. Again, these are not just drawn in, these are calculated. So this level is important. You can see that it was touched multiple occasions. You see? Right there on the 19th of May, another time 8th of June, 21st of June, 22nd of June, 25th of June, 26th of June, and yesterday and today, it's the 9th of July. So I'm expecting a breakdown. All we need is a small, you know, move down, a few percentage points, a close below it. Now, I'm not ruling out that it will hold support here. It's possible. Yes, it is definitely possible. And if it holds here and rallies towards 45,000, I'm going to say, okay, there could be still future for this thing. But if it closes below this red support resistance, I'm going to see, I think it's going to be a big collapse, right? And it will bring the rest of this whole cryptocurrency mania with it. And this cryptocurrency mania is just depicted by this DogeCoin. So DogeCoin already broke down. There's that what I'm talking about on the 21st of June. There's the breakdown, and now it retested the support resistance from below. So far it is holding. So it was a retest on the 25th of June and another one 29th of June. So far it is holding. So test of resistance is holding. I think that once the Bitcoin breaks down, I keep saying DogeCoin to zero. Again, I catch flack for this, but there were already numerous other examples where similar crap tokens went literally to zero. In other words, they no longer exist. Okay, so if I had any DogeCoin, you know what I would do with it, right? I would sell it, and I would lock in my gains if I had any. All right, so there's my passionate presentation about cryptocurrencies and other things. If you like what you're hearing and you like to get these indicators, this lines, the red, blue, green, the green, blue, red, and yellow lines, you can have them on your chart. They're available for TradingView, and they're also now available for MetaTrader 5.0. So if you want for MetaTrader 5.0, you'll need to sign up on their website. So it's available, sign up there. If you want them from TradingView, then sign up on my site, and I will open the door for you on TradingView. Also, I have two newsletters. One is called Elite, one is called Stock Speculator. So again, this is what we trade. We trade mostly large caps and ETFs for the Elite newsletter. We trade various speculative breakouts in the Speculator newsletter. Additionally, we have what's called a stock screener. So the stock screener actually finds stocks such as, for example, this one right there, Resolute forest products, you know, with a breakout. So this is the type of things we can find using my scanner, using our scanner. So sign up. There's a free trial. You can't go wrong with free trial. If you don't like it, cancel it. Additionally, I have a trading academy right now that I'm trialing out. It's still kind of work in progress. I'm still not sure if it's gonna go anywhere. If you're interested, the sliding scale pricing is available. So if you are interested in learning how to trade, learning my techniques, send me a message. We can possibly work out a deal where you will pay less than initial than what I'm charging for regular indicators and newsletter, if you have a need, you see. But if you don't have a need, then just sign up. It's not a lot of money, $59 per month. It's not a lot of money. Additionally, if you make a couple of trades, it will pay for itself. It will pay for itself the first month. So, these indicators, I think one of the best things that happened to me, that when I came up with them, I started to dance. I started to just be very happy, and my life simplified so much. I don't need no longer to think, should I be buying, should I be selling. It is clear. You see, there's the breakout. We should be buying. All right, so that's it for this week's recap. If you have any questions, send me a message at MasterChartsTrading.com. And again, thanks for watching. Have another great trading week. Bye-bye.